Hi, I'm JD, and what we're going to be doing today is finding zeros for this polynomial. It is f of x equals x to the fourth minus 2x squared minus 16x minus 15. So if you would, pause the video and see if you can do this on your own. Alright, to find the zeros or the roots, what you want to do is first list out the possible roots, which are the p's and q's. And how do you find your p's and q's? Well, you look at your leading coefficient. That'll tell you factors of q, and this is your p. So you list them out like this. You have p over q, and this is going to give you the possibilities. So factors of 15 are 15, 5, 3, 1, and then factors of the q is just 1, and these are all plus or minus when you're just listing out the factors. Well, then you list them all out, and it's always p over q, so 15 over 1, which is plus or minus 15. Then you have plus or minus 5 over plus or minus 1, which is just plus or minus 5, and then plus or minus 3, and then plus or minus 1. So those are all your possibilities, and so I'm going to erase some of this because we're going to need room. Now I'm going to list out all the possibilities here. Possible zeros. Now this is using the rational zero theorem, which basically states if you have rational zeros, it's going to be p's over q's plus, factors of them. So just rewriting them for room's sake. Alright, what you want to do in with a problem like this is you got about 8 possibilities that you got to plug in, or until you get enough to break this down to where you can factor or use a quadratic formula. My advice: use the quadratic formula when you get to a degree of 2. So use synthetic division. So start by listing out the factors, the coefficients, 1, 0, -2, -16, and then also -15. I'm going to start with 1 and work that direction. So positive 1 goes down if you remember synthetic division, and then it's 1 times 1, which is 1, and then add 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. Then this plus this is -1. Then 1 times -1 is -1. -16 plus a -1 is -17. And then 1 times -17 is -17, which is -32. Alright, that's not a zero. So let me try -1. You can kind of see how it's going to take a long time. 1, 0, -2, -16, -15. Alright, so we're trying this one. Bring down the 1. -1 times 1 is -1. 0 times -1, or 0 plus -1 is -1. -1 times -1 is a positive 1. It's -1. -1 times -1 is positive 1. -16 plus 1 is -15. -1 times -15 is positive 15, and then you add those, 0. So -1 is a 0. So I'm going to keep a list of zeros, and then tried, or sorry, let me put not zeros. So 1 is not a 0 and negative 1 is. So 1, 0 is not a 0 and negative 1 is a 0. Now what you can do instead of going back from the beginning is you can use this. Right now it's 1 less degree, so this was x to the 4th, so this is x cubed. So let me try. I'm just going to write from this line. Let me try positive 3. See if positive 3 works. Bring down the 1. So 3 times 1 is 3. Negative 1 times, or negative 1 plus 3 is positive 2. 3 times 2 is 6. Negative 1 plus 6 is 5. And then 3 times 5 is 15. That'll be 0. So another 0 is positive 3. Right, so I have this, which is x squared plus 2x plus 5 equals 0. Now I can take this, and instead of just kind of guessing, what I can do is I can use a quadratic formula. So let me erase this. You might have to pause the video and write this down. Okay. So I have x squared plus 2x plus 5 equals 0. That's going to give me my remaining zeros, and so I'll use the quadratic formula, which is x equals negative b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So your a is 1, your b is 2, and your c is 5. So plug all those in. So that's negative 2 plus or minus 2 squared is 4 minus 4, a is 1, c is 5 over 2 times 1, which is 2. Now simplify it. So it's negative 2 plus or minus. This is 4 minus 20, which is negative 16. And the square root of negative 16 is, 4i. So you have that over 2. Now you can simplify it further. That's negative 2 over 2 plus or minus 4i over 2, which then simplifies to negative 1 plus or minus 2i. Now I can list out all the zeros. So I have negative 1, 3. Now I'm going to list these separately. It's plus or minus. So it's negative 1 plus 2i, comma, negative 1 minus 2i. And those are all my zeros. And that's it.